Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chronicle, where I forgot that I do this. I do the little goals. I do the sticky notes. I was thinking about doing this, and when I was thinking about doing this, I remembered the videos and the days where I would actually I would do these. Like I would sit up here and be like, I did this goal. I said let's start. I would say let's start with the goals. I did these goals, and I was like, why haven't I done that? And it was because college got in the way. And I put off all the goals for a while, and also I was just awful at doing them, which is entirely my fault, my mistake. Um, yeah, but I've got like a lot in my hand here, as you can see, um, and I'll tell you all about them because that's what we do. We start with the goals. Yeah, because usually I just say college, and then I continue on. Yeah, so first things first, yeah, nectarine. The goal was to eat a nectarine to see if I was allergic. I am quite allergic. It is very similar to the apple reaction, which is my lips. It was my lips. It was my gums. I think maybe my tongue and throat were swelling a bit as well. But my lips and my gums, this is the worst part, is they started itching, burning, and stinging, which is what would happen when I would have apples. Speaking of apples, that was one of the goals too. Just before I turned this camera on, I ate about half of an apple over the course of about 10 or 15 minutes. Because, I didn't want to go all in, take a bite, knowing that very well could die. Because last I checked, which is when I was about 14, I had about 2 cubic centimeters of an apple, which is about, I want to say this much. I had about this much apple because my nurse, one of the nurses that I was seeing, I guess, long story there. She was like, "Oh yeah, I have this other kid. He's allergic to apples, but it's just the skin. So if you peel the apple, he can eat it." I was like, "Okay, let me try that." No go. Like I knew before I even tried that wouldn't work, and it didn't work. My vision was going like, and like I almost passed out because I had 2 cubic centimeters of an apple. So I ate about half of an apple total, which is big news, honestly. I don't know how. Like I feel like that shouldn't have worked. But one thing I was thinking was, if it's my lips and my gums that have the reaction, could I somehow get the apple past there and then eat it? So what I did was I peeled the apple and I took a spoon and I scooped up, the apple and then I ate it. And honestly, it wasn't like not much happened. It was about, like I said, I had about a spoonful of raw apple. I just scooped it out the apple and ate it. And my throat got a little itchy and it felt a little tight, but it wasn't like, like I wasn't dying. So I was like, okay, how about a little more? So, and I was like, okay, well, if that worked, let's try the lips and the gums again. So what I did was I took a few more bites and I made sure to get my lips and gums, in there. So I just took a full on regular bite, took 2 of those. Not that bad, mild reaction right now. It's not the worst. I was like, okay, I took 2 big more chomps of the apple and now I'm here. Still alive. So that's progress. And like, it makes sense and at the same time it doesn't, right? Because people can grow out of allergies. I am mostly grown out of my pollen allergy. And get this, it's my pollen allergy that causes the allergic reaction to other fruits like nectarines. And way back when I was 16, I just bought a peach. I just bought one peach. I walked up to the counter, boom, put a peach on the conveyor belt, bought a peach, ate it. I was like, this is uncomfortable and painful. Like I said, lips, gums, itching, burning, stinging, throat a little bit as well. That was when I was like 16. So it's like, it's weird. I was more allergic to the nectarine than I was the apple. Because I took like 2 little bites out of the nectarine. And I was like, this is very uncomfortable. I want this to stop right now, right? But I ate about, like I said, half that apple over a period of time. And it wasn't that bad. I was never like, ooh, this is really bad. Because I don't know why. I think for some reason the allergic reaction, it also comes with a sense of panic. Like oh my god, like I want this to stop. Like almost like I'm on fire, which is kind of weird. Um, but yeah, I got that with the nectarine. I was like, oh my god. It's kind of like a sense of impending doom because I know that's an actual symptom that you can feel as a person. But yeah, because it's like I just ingested what is essentially poison to me. But no, yeah, I had the nectarine, and I think I was more allergic to that than the apple, which is crazy. I think I might just see if I can eat apples again, and get rid of the allergy. Maybe, like I said, it was I mild reaction right now. But maybe I can just desensitize myself. Desensitization training or whatever. Yeah, that could be cool. Because like I said, I loved apples as a kid. I was like literally eating them like daily. maybe even multiple a day, just because it's like convenient. Like I said, I've said this before. I was so upset when I realized that I was allergic to apples because it's so convenient. It's just food, it's sustenance. You just straight up eat it and you're good. It's that easy, right? Like imagine I could put an apple in my lunchbox. That would be awesome. Um, Next up, music. Believe it or not, I almost didn't do this one again. How many X's does this have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 weeks to do that. Actually, hold on, let me come back to that. Let me come back to that, because I did do it on my phone. Okay, cursive and handwriting. So something I realized when I made these goals was that they're much more complicated than I thought they were. Well, not really. So the goal was order the book, do the book, improve handwriting, great. Then I realized, oh, I actually have to do the book. It's not like a video game where I can just click read on the book and then gain the skill. So I ordered the books. I should have ordered them sooner, but I ordered them yesterday, so they'll be here next week, which is why they got in progress and check. And what I did was, you see that sticky note right there? I rewrote that one as handwriting part 2, and it's in the repeatable section. See, like, you see my light switch? Hold on. I'm so bad at this. You'd think I'd get better. See the light switch? The goals below the light switch are the daily repeatable ones. The ones above it are ones that can be completed and done. Like the ones nectarine and apple that were on there. So yeah, so I added those to the repeatable goals, so I should hopefully be able to do the handwriting books daily and then improve my handwriting, and then it won't be awful anymore. Yeah. Okay, so for music, I almost didn't do this one. I did it before pressing record because I was like, I do not want to show up, putting an 11th X on here. But those will go in the pile. I actually do keep the pile. See, you can see it right here. It's barely on camera. Right here is the pile of sticky notes that are completed. These are all completed goals. Actually, some of them are technically canceled as well, because I can cancel goals. I can do that. Actually, I don't know. Have I shown you guys what a canceled goal looks like? I take my giant mega Sharpie, this thing, and I just put a huge X on it for when it's canceled. That's what I do with canceled goals. But yeah, completed goals, most of them get completed. They go in the pile of completed goals, so I can keep a little record. It is over an entire block of sticky notes at this point. This is a block of sticky notes, and that thing is over a block of sticky notes, which is pretty cool, I guess. I should have been dating them. That would have been really cool. I realized that. I was like, oh man, this would be so much cooler if these had like dates on them for when they were completed. That way we can see how fast I was doing stuff. But I don't know. It's like, should I start dating? Is it too late to start dating the notes? I'm not talking about people. I don't date people. Anyway, I told that to my dad earlier. Or wait, no. I think I told that to my friend. Yeah. Yeah, my dad did ask me in the car earlier. He was like, so, you got any romantic interests? I was like, nah. He was like, none? I said, none. Because it's true. That's the truth. So, the music goal. I'm pretty sure this peaks the microphone. Like, I think this is really loud whenever you hear it. Anyway. Okay. So, this is GarageBand. Let me tell you, this is nothing, like, great. Like, I was literally just messing around pushing buttons. It was a lot of fun. But the thing is I started with a piano track. I started playing chords. And because of that, the timing is off. And I was like, well, that's fine. I'll just, instead of playing everything on beat, I will play it to the piano track, which is off. So if everything is off, nothing will sound off. The issue is I'm pretty sure, for some reason, and I didn't look super thorough. Okay, well, it's right there. Oh my god. Okay, I should have looked thoroughly earlier. But the drum track was, it was quantizing. Meaning it was artificially lining itself up. It was artificially lining all the notes that I inputted. It was lining it up with the beat. Now let me okay. So what if I just none. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me cook. Shoot. What did I just do? Stop listening. Okay, give me like 2 seconds, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I'm sure that was like awful. Um, I tried redoing the drum track, and I was like, this sounds really bad. It still sounds really bad, but it's not quantizing it anymore. So I don't know if this is gonna pick up or not. I'm pretty sure it is because people are always like, "Bro, why are your reels so loud?" Whenever I'm on call. Okay, so the drum, like I said, the drum track is still way off because I started off with the chords, which I really should not have done. So let me play it without the drum track. Oh yeah, there was also one issue where for some reason the piano chords in the first measure, the reverb was like broken, so it was getting cut short, which is why it sounds like this. And then you see the reverb kicks in. Yeah, so that is pretty much awful. Do not equate that to like my skill level, because trust me, I've made tracks in music software before. It doesn't sound like that. That was literally just me pushing buttons. And honestly, the worst part about it was the timing. Like the bass, the melody is kind of in the bass, which is not where it's supposed to be, or at least not where I intended it to be. But because of how wonky it was, that's where it ended up being. I did have a lot of fun. Listen to this. Hold on. I had a lot of fun with this little drum pad, right? I was having a lot of fun making it, which is not what I thought would happen. I thought it would be like, man, this is awful. But no, you just click record. I've got like 8 measures on there. It's like, it was pretty fun. I was going for like a space vibe. Um, I had the electric piano already loaded in from last time I was messing with it. Um, I was thinking about writing music part two up there, but I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it was fun. It was fun for sure. To just mess around with like the, you know what I'm saying? I still don't know how well that's picking up. But yeah, I did a thing, and that was the thing. Goal completed. um, yeah, it's like part of me is like, oh my gosh, this is the gateway to independent music creation, and it very well could be. Like it was fairly intuitive. Like you just saw me figure out with how to turn quantization off in one of the settings. So it's not very hard to just like beep 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 track. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's all for the goals. Yeah, I'll save the goals for next week for the end. That way it's a fun little surprise. And we'll get into the journal. Monday. Yep. I meant to be productive today, but after the gym today, I only had enough energy to feed myself and play Silksong. But it could have been worse because I remember days when I didn't even have energy to do that. I'm tired this evening, which I think is good and bad. It's good because that could mean that I'll sleep easier, but it's bad because I don't know, or I didn't do as much. I'm optimistic for tomorrow, though. The quote is, "Why my mangoes so expensive?" Yeah, so I am getting tired again, which is good, I think. Like I said, it's got, like I'm not doing as much when I'm tired, but I feel like I'm not really necessarily sleeping well either. Because like I was really tired yesterday evening, but even though I couldn't sleep, but like Monday, I don't know when I fell asleep on Monday, but yeah. So I am like getting tired. Oh wait a minute, I think I forgot to take my creatine today. Gosh darn it. Anyway, yeah. So I am back to being a normal person and getting tired in the evening instead of being completely full of energy until like 3 in the morning. Um, which, yeah, I think is good. I don't know, because it kind of happened today, where it was 10 p.m. and I could feel myself crashing, and I was like, no, I still need to practice electric guitar. My body's like, bro, we gotta go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, yeah, that's why I ended up, like, pushing stuff off. Like I said, I did do the musical. Anyway, and the quote, why my mango is so expensive? Why are my mangoes so expensive? I went to Target, I got frozen mangoes. There's like 2 or 3 cups of mangoes in there, man, and it's like $3. So that's like $1 for a cup of frozen mangoes. But to be fair, they make a really good smoothie for those frozen mangoes. But like I couldn't even get a big bag. It was like a small medium bag with 2 or 3 cups of mangoes. I'm like, bro, I need more mangoes than that. But they didn't have a bigger bag. I got this brand from like Walmart, but it was mixed in with other fruits and it was gross. And now we're on to Tuesday. You'll never guess what I did after work today. That's right, I played Silk Song for way too long and wasn't productive. But that's because I walked into this one area that had a really hard part, and after a solid hour, I beat it. And I wanted to play some more to actually have fun, so that's what I did. I also tried a nectarine today, and it turns out I'm allergic, and the reaction was fairly strong too. Kind of a bummer, but not really, is what the quote is. Um, so yeah, I had played Silk Song, logged on. I was like, I'll play for a little bit, it'll be fine. I logged on, got on call with my friend who's also playing the game, and I walked into this area that has a really hard boss fight. Or maybe, well, yeah, it's like really hard, but like it's more annoying than anything. Like I said, that game is a test of patience because I definitely have the skill to beat it, but like I said, it's a test of patience with some of the bosses in there. So like after an hour of just slamming my head against that wall and then breaking through it, because like I said, I beat the boss. I wanted to play a little longer just to actually have fun have fun and enjoy myself. So yeah, and then yeah, it's like the nectarine. It wasn't even that good, if I'm being honest. The texture was similar to an apple, but I was like, this is kind of like an apple but grosser. And I might be less allergic to apples now, so that's just a win-win. I feel like now I should just check everything that I'm allergic to. Well, I should go out buy a peach, buy a nectarine, buy an apple, buy celery, avocado, pear, cauliflower, broccoli, whatever else was on that list. Because like I said, it was called oral allergy syndrome, I think is what I have, because my dad Googled it, and I was like, yep, that pretty much is a 1-to-1 for my symptoms. And it was with like celery and pears very mildly in the past, but I'm pretty sure that's gone now. I think pears are just gross. I think I'm not allergic to them, I just don't like them. Or maybe I think I somehow always end up eating them at the wrong level of ripeness. I buy them when they're unripe, and then I eat them when they're too ripe, and I can't figure out when to eat them. Because like in the past, I remember them being really good. They were just kind of messy because they were so juicy. But like I bought some from Aldi, and I was like, these are gross. I don't want to eat these. Um, but yeah, maybe I should just see what I'm allergic to. Wednesday, I didn't work out today after work today. I was like, wait, is that really in there? Yep. I didn't work out today after work today because I wanted to focus on my instruments. And after a couple hours, I did. I realized this while I was writing this, but I didn't like go in and fix it because it would be a lot of writing. After a couple hours of Silk Song, I did, which I was not supposed to do. I got a practice in on both instruments, and then I played more Silk Song. I also started my free trial of Audible today. Audiobooks seem like a great idea to keep me entertained at work, but the problem is that it's too loud in the factory, so it's pretty hard to hear the book unless I crank my volume up to painful levels. But I'll give it a try and see how it goes before canceling it. And then the quote is "Beware the lull." Yeah. Yep, that's it. That's what I want to say. I want to say, yep, that's it. Next day, but it's like there's more to talk about. Um, yeah, so was it on Wednesday? I'm trying to remember how it went. I got home and I was like, I've been seriously slacking on my instruments. I'm gonna not go to the gym to save time to spend on my instruments. I didn't do that. I played more video games. Not a good thing to do. Not very productive. But I did get a practice in on both instruments, like I said, and then I played more video games. And then at work, I started my free trial for Audible, um, so I can listen to audiobooks at work. And like I said, good idea, because like now I've kind of completed the trifecta of audio entertainment while at work. I've got music, podcasts, and now audiobooks. And yeah, it does sound like a great idea, but it is loud in the factory. So I can't really hear it very well unless I turn it up a lot. But if I turn it up a lot, then the dynamic range of the narrator's voice tends to hurt my ears sometimes whenever they, emphasize something. But like I said, I got a free trial. I listened to an Audible adaptation of 1984, George Orwell's 1984. It was very good. Do not listen to dystopian fiction while working in a factory in like the inner city. Bad idea. Makes you feel like it's very immersive. Trust me. Anyway, and then the quote, "Beware the lull." I've talked about the lull before. I just haven't referred to it as the lull. I feel like that's not even a word. Like now that I'm saying it, it's Lull. Like I know it's a word, but it's like it feels like not a word now that I'm saying it. Where it's just I get tired. Like I don't know, maybe the feeling is literally just depression. But I get tired, and I feel like I don't know how to not be tired, and I just want to lay down and do nothing until the day's over. But if I do that, then I'll be sad because I didn't do anything. So it's kind of hard to break out of that, the lull. But now I'm giving it a name. Now it has a name. Thursday, after getting off work early, I got some gaming in, a fourth piano practice, and I made a smoothie before music lessons. After that, I made food and did a little more gaming. I wanted to get another practice in after lessons, but I got a little too tired. In other news, yesterday I sent a follow up email on a couple posters that I ordered online that never came. And today I got an email saying that they are on the way, so that's good. The quote is Friday's Eve, which is what I call Thursday. Yeah, and that's happened that'd be the third time, assuming there was a coincidence this time. A while ago, I ordered some T-shirts. I ordered a couple merch. I ordered a couple T-shirts of merch. I ordered a band's merch, a couple T-shirts. I ordered a couple T-shirts online, and the store page said they'll be here in this amount of time. After that amount of time passed, I didn't get them. So I emailed support. They're like, yeah, they should be there. And I was like, they're not. And then literally, I think it was next week, they arrived. And then was it with my degree when I was gonna get because they're gonna mail my degree to me when I graduated. Um, the college website said it'll be here this many days after graduation. I'm like, well, it's been this many days since graduation and more, and it's not here. So I sent an email. They're like, yeah, blah blah blah. I think they essentially said nothing we can do about it. I'm like, well, that's not helpful. Or actually, no, they said if you don't get it, then I can come in and talk to someone. And then I got it literally the next day. Thursday, I had ordered two posters online months ago. It was late July, I think. Yeah, because it was. I remember. Oh, you can't see my poster. On the other side of the door, I have a poster for a tour that I went to. On the car ride trip to that tour in July, late July, I ordered posters, two posters. They never said when they would be here, but the email said we'll send you follow up emails on their status. Well, it had been almost 2 whole months since I ordered those, and I had gotten no follow up emails. It just said, we'll let you know when they're on the way. So I emailed support. I said, hey, I ordered these posters. They're not here yet. And then I didn't get a reply to that email. I just got an email saying, your posters are on the way. And I was like, were my posters on the way because I sent the email? Or were they on the way the whole time, and it just took 2 whole freaking months for me to actually for someone to I don't know, in the shipping place just ship them out or something. Were they sent because I sent the email, or was that just a coincidence? Because I feel like it can't be. Because like I said, it was 2 months of no updates on that order before I sent an email, and then now they're on the way. They'll be here next week. And I think I've got those posters. Oh yeah, I've got more posters that I want to order, but they were out of stock, and it says restock planned, and I'm fiending because I really want those posters. I'm gonna get the one poster that I ordered. I'm gonna get the poster that I want to get, and then I don't know. I just really like posters. You actually can't see any of the posters that I have. I've got 4 right here from Terraria. I want to get 3 from Hades, and that is kind of a lot for one video game. Like 4 from Terraria, that's a lot of wall space. These posters are 18 by 24, so they're huge. But there was one. They had one poster which had these video game characters on, but they had the 3 posters which were from 3 areas in the game with the bosses on them, and I was like, those 3 posters are really cool. I want those, but they're out of stock. So I signed up to get an email once they come back. So then I'm gonna have 4, 5, 8 posters. I thought about getting one from the Amazing Digital Circus because I got Pomni here, and I got Kaufmo. But I try not to give in too much to consumerism because I do really want the stuff. I ordered a respawn mat from Roblox. And let me tell you, if you know, if you see that rug and you know what that means and what it's from, elite ball knowledge right there. Let me tell you. I ordered that. It was $30, and it came with a keychain, which is cool. But I was like, these things are really cool. But I got my Helldivers U2. He's on top of my computer here. I ordered a Chomper U2s from Plants vs. Zombies, and that's really cool. And I also found this little wooden shelf thing, and I was like, wow, this would be great to hold all of my knickknacks. Knickknacks, like keychains, or whatever. Or you can see my shelf over there of knickknacks. And then look, you see right here? Knickknacks. Little stuff, essentially. It's really dusty, though, so I threw it in my car. I'm going to take it to work, take the air air compressor. Yeah, and just blow all the dust off of it. It's gonna look great. I'll probably use it for sure. Probably maybe. Like I said, yeah, I like having stuff, but I don't want to give into stuff and consumerism and have too much stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll get maybe like one or two things from each video game and then done. Because U2's also had like Subnautica stuff, but it was only plushies, and I was like, plushies kind of big. I'd prefer a little figurine, like with my Helldiver. He's just out of reach. Yeah, I like stuff. I want stuff. I want more stuff. My walls are so barren, as you can see. I don't really put anything behind the door because I keep it open most of the time. And then actually when it is open, you can see the poster that I have on the front of it. The hats, my drawing. I don't think you can tell what that is. It's a drawing of my hand. It's not bad. Friday, today after work, me and my friend went to buy a soccer ball and some grip tape for some badminton rackets, and it was a lot of fun. There wasn't much competition in soccer because I'm a lot faster than her, but she was actually surprisingly good at badminton, and it was a lot of fun. After that, we got frozen yogurt, which I'm not usually a fan of, but it was really good. I got back a lot later than I thought I would, and I was tired, so I didn't do much other than shower and take care of myself. And then the quote is, "Screams of the damned in the factory today." Yeah, so Friday after work, it was actually pretty hot, but I wanted to get a workout in. So I was like, hey friend, do you want to play outside? She was like, sure, what do you want to play? And I was like, well, I've got badminton, frisbee, and a volleyball in my car. She was like, I'm not really good at any of those. And I was like, well, what are you good at? She was like, soccer. I was like, okay. So we got a soccer ball, and it was fun kicking it around, but it was also like really easy. I'm sorry. But like, I'm just a lot bigger, faster. I'm a lot bigger and faster than her. So it's like in 1v1 soccer, there's no competition. My legs are longer than her. They can move faster than hers. So it's like, I don't know. It's just, it was fun, but like, it wasn't as fun as it could be because I knew it was unfair for her, right? So yeah, we didn't do that for super long, but what we did do for super long was badminton. And like I said, she was actually pretty good at badminton. Like, let me tell you, most people, the vast majority of people, terrible at badminton. Like, the amount of people bad at badminton, this many. Amount of people good at badminton, this many. I swear, it's probably a ratio similar to that. I do not meet many people good at badminton. But like, after like an hour or two, she was like pretty good. Like, we were volleying pretty good. I wouldn't play for points. She wasn't that good. But like I said, she was pretty good. Like, if I hit it to her, she would hit it back, which is a lot more than most people can do. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then after that, we got frozen yogurt, which, like I said, she was like, you want to get ice cream? I was like, sure. You want to go to Andy's? I was like, Andy's is mid. And then she was like, well, there's a frozen yogurt. And I was like, well, I'd rather have Andy's, even if it's mid, than frozen yogurt. But she was like, I want frozen yogurt. And I was like, okay, we'll go get frozen yogurt. We got frozen yogurt. It was super good. I got chocolate frozen yogurt, and then I got cookies and cream. And then I put cookie dough on it, and I put cheesecake bites on it, and I put brownie bites on it, and it was really good. And then I think, yeah, like I said, after that I came home when I was tired, I was showered, ate some food. And then the quote is, "Screams of the damned in the factory today," because one of my coworkers was just groaning really loudly at the end of the day when they were dropping the pallet. It was just kind of funny because from a distance you just hear her groaning really loudly. Saturday, disaster struck today. After breakfast, I did some gaming, but I must have not eaten enough because even after I had a bit of lunch, I got a stomachache so cripplingly painful that it took me out for about 3 hours. After recovering, I got some groceries and I wanted to get some more birdies for badminton, but they didn't have any, so I ordered some on Amazon. I also ordered some handwriting books and a paddle. I took a couple more shots of kava, but I don't feel like it did anything. And the quote is, ow, ow, ow. Yeah, yesterday, was a tragedy. I woke up and I think I was thinking about going to the gym, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna have breakfast. So I made breakfast. I made oatmeal, toast, and I had my little mushroom coffee. And the thing is, it's really confusing because it was hard to eat all of that. It was hard to finish all of that for me. And I was like, okay, if it's hard to finish my food, then that must mean that I'm really full, and I won't need to eat for a while, because you guys know I have my stomach problem, so I can't really tell how full I am. So I start gaming, play games for a couple hours. I'm like, I think I'm hungry. I should probably eat. I go make food. While I'm making the food, I'm so hungry that I want to eat the food while I'm making it. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, holy crap, I need to eat this food. So I eat the food. I feel like it does nothing to quell my appetite. Um, and I'm still, like, starving. Like, I'm ravenous. Like, I was like, holy crap, I'm so hungry, I don't know what to do. But at this point, my stomach just starts hurting. And I was like, well, crap. And it just starts hurting. It doesn't stop hurting. I drink water. I was like, I don't know what to do about this. Because, like, I think the issue is that I'm just so insanely starving. But then I remember, because, like I said, I was in pain. The day that I went to the ER, I remember feeding myself while my stomach was in pain. It didn't help. And then later that day, I ended up going to the ER. I was like, okay, my stomach hurts. I'm hungry. But, like I said, it was cripplingly painful. I didn't want to move. So I just laid in bed. I kind of writhed around for a little bit, and then I went to sleep. I was like in and out of sleep for about 3 hours. And then when I woke up, I think I did eat something before going grocery shopping. But I can't remember what it was. Maybe I didn't eat anything. Yeah, I don't think I made a smoothie. Yeah, it's hard to remember because I didn't eat anything. Um, But yeah, I went to get some groceries, and I think I got food on the way back. I stopped at Quick Trip. Then I got like this protein shake and a grilled cheese, BLT. Because I was like, I don't want to eat anything at home because part of my stomach problem is that it's like my stomach has emotions. Like it's picky. It's like I'm hungry, but like not for that. Like I'm gonna make you nauseous and cause you pain and be hungry, but I'm not. I don't want to eat that food that you have. No, I don't like that. So it's really stupid like that. So I got a grilled cheese and a protein shake from QT, um, and then I think that was about it. Yeah, I ordered stuff on Amazon, a paddle to replace the one that my mutual friend lost. Because I was like, hey, throw me the paddle, and he was like, okay, and he threw it to me, but like it was a really bad throw. It didn't even leave the water, and then it just ended up sinking. So I would say it's my fault for suggesting the idea, and his fault for carrying it through. But I don't blame him for it. I just bought a new paddle. It was like $20, which is like really more than I wanted to pay. But yeah. Yeah, and then I got more birdies on Amazon because I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and they were out, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." I came to the sports store and they ain't got my sports pretty much. Um, yeah, and then I took a couple more shots of kava, and I was like, "I don't think this is doing anything." Maybe I need to take more. I don't know. But yeah, the quote is "ow, ow, ow" because I was just writhing around in bed. It was awful. Sunday, today. What did I do today? I woke up and then I think I played games. And then what did I have for breakfast? Probably not enough. Like I said, the mundane daily is so hard to remember. Gosh, I was thinking about this earlier. What did I have for breakfast? Did I even eat breakfast? I remember I didn't have a lot. A sandwich? No. Did I? Did I even exist today? What the heck? What did I have for breakfast? I think I woke up, I played games. Cause like I'm not hungry in the morning, so I usually pass the time to get hungry, and then I go eat. But what did I eat? Chat, what did I have for breakfast? And why is it so hard to remember? Oh wait, I woke up. Yeah, because I played games so that I could get hungry and then go eat. And then I know that I showered, and then I went to Dad's house to do laundry. But I know I ate something in between there. What the heck did I eat? I can't remember. We'll get back to that. Yeah, so I ate something, and then I showered, and I went to Dad's to do laundry. Watched a movie while I was there. No, I watched a few episodes of Demon Slayer while I was there. And then I did laundry, Demon Slayer. Dad said, "Hey, you want to go to lunch?" He was gonna take my older brother too, but he was busy. So we went to this place called the Mason Jar. Pretty nice. Cause I was like, I want to go. I don't want to drive too far, but I don't want to eat here in Kansas City because Kansas City is gross and I don't like being here. Um, so we went to this little place called the Mason Jar. It was good. I got a salmon BLT. Very, very, very good actually. But for some reason, my stomach was like, "Stop, slow down, don't eat that." So I ate about half of it and all of the sweet potato fries that I got, and took the other half to go and finished it later. But I don't know why. Like something in my stomach just was like, stop, don't eat this. Whatever you're eating, stop it. I think it was the salmon that was doing that. I honestly don't know. But like I said, I took a bite. It tasted amazing, but my stomach was like, no, no, don't do that. Um, so yeah, I ate half of it there and half of it later. And then once we got home, I practiced piano and I got my laundry and I came back. Oh yeah, I still need my laundry's right there actually. I still need to put that away. I'm also wearing all white today. Check it out. Ugh, there's my shorts. Because like people always wear all black, but what about all white? Why does nobody do that? Yeah, so I'm doing that for fun. I've got some white socks I'm gonna wear. Unfortunately, no white shoes, but it ain't that deep. Um, oh my gosh, it's been so long. It's been so long. I always think of that song, Five Nights at Freddy's. Whenever anyone says the phrase "It's been so long," that's like brain rot for sure. Anyway, after I came back from the laundry, I played more video games, and I think I ate the sandwich. And spaghetti. Made spaghetti. But I made my spaghetti in a larger pot than usual. So when I put a larger amount of spaghetti than usual, it looked like a regular amount of spaghetti. So then I put it on the plate and I was like, holy crap, this is way too much spaghetti. So it was kind of a pale red color because I ran out of sauce. Because I had too much spaghetti and not enough sauce. So then I put some ketchup on it because I was like, sure, it's tomato, it's the same thing, right? No, now I kind of got gross spaghetti for lunch tomorrow, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I suffer the actions of my own consequences. Yes. And now we're here. I ate that apple. I made that stupid little silly little track that you heard. And now I gotta go over the goals for next week. Gosh darn it. I am so tired, chat. But you know what's stupid? Is that I'm so tired right now. But I know darn well I'm gonna have trouble sleeping. Because that's just how it is. I also have some data on whether a left, right, or middle part is beloved most by others. These two votes for the right part, they said, do the right part for now, and then once it grows out, do the middle part. One said the middle part looks best, one said the left part looks best. Give me your feedback if you can. I know that literally nobody watches this, and by literally nobody, I mean 2 people. But yeah, if I had an audience, I would say, let me know which part looks best. Hair part, left, middle, right. No, hold on, left, middle, right. And one other side comment, I feel like I just look so good once I turn the camera on. Like, I don't know why. It's very paradoxical because I'm pretty sure I'm not attractive. I look in the mirror and I'm like, darn, you don't look very good. But then I sit down in front of the camera, I'm like, shee. Like, maybe it's just my hair. I don't know. Like, I feel like my hair does look good right now. But I feel like I said, I turn on the camera and I'm like, oh, that boy fine. Anyway. Goals for next week, I have a couple. Handstand. I want to learn how to do a handstand. I looked into this earlier, but I never tried it. Earlier being like months ago. It's actually, so you're not supposed to put your hands flat on the ground. You're supposed to scrunch them up like you're trying to grip the ground. Because that's how you balance yourself when you're doing a handstand. So I'm going to try doing a handstand this week. Or next week, I should say. Sweet potato. I did check that off, but like I said, it was bad. Not to my satisfaction. I talked about this with my dad over lunch earlier. So I'm going to try again. Maybe I'll make a mashed sweet potato. So yeah, I'm going to eat that with the sweet potato. I'm going to try and do a handstand. Liked playlist is what it has written up there. My liked playlist is full of songs that are mid. Songs that I don't enjoy. Songs that I skip every time. Songs that I liked a lot at the time, but not really anymore. So I've been going through my likes playlist and I'm trying to cut out all those songs. Now the thing is, some of them I like, but like not really. Like I like part of it, but not all of it, but enough of it to keep it on the playlist. Even though I skip it most of the time, so I'm like, okay, I have a separate playlist for that, called Songs to Listen to, or Music to Listen to. Because it's like, more like background music. Like, I like this song, but I don't want to actively listen to it, so I put it on the passive listening playlist, which is Music to Listen to. So yeah, I already did that, some of that. Maybe like a quarter of it. I cut out a bunch of songs from my like playlist, but I gotta go through it more. Resin. I'm so excited for this goal. So, check it out. This Xbox controller right here. Yeah. So, oh my gosh. It's such a silly little story. Because, like, it means a lot to me, but, like, I'm sure it's worthless to everyone else. So, Xbox controller. behold. When I was a kid, my friends had an Xbox 360. I wanted to play with them, and I did, but I didn't have a controller. So what I would do was after after a big enough chunk of money, usually around Christmas or my birthday, which were pretty much about the same time, after getting a big enough chunk of money from something, usually $30 at the time. Now they're about something for like 60. It's crazy. But at the time, an Xbox controller was $30. So I would buy a wired Xbox controller for $30, which for being like 10 years old was like crazy. Like $30 at 10 years old, you're a rich man. I bought a Xbox controller. It was clear. It was a clear plastic shell, so you could see through it, which is really cool, and also had blue LED lights in it. I loved that controller. I used that controller forever until it stopped working. I used it even when it started acting like a broken phone controller, right? You'd have to wiggle the cord and hold at a certain angle for the controller to work, which is really annoying because, like, you can't play the game and hold the cord. So I remember one time, me and my friend took a whole dining chair, right? Taller than this chair. Like, it was a high back chair. Like, I'm talking that kitchen dining chair went about here. It was about this tall. And we just leaned it up against the Xbox. So it was like this. Like, the floor was like this. The chair was like this, right? It was leaning up against the Xbox, pushing that cord up so that we could play, so that my controller would work. That's how long I used that controller for. Later in life, my dad gets an Xbox One for the kids. Okay, we need more controllers. We get some wired controllers. And we use those wired Xbox One controllers until all the buttons are sticky, figuratively sticky, as in they don't come back up. They're sticky, the sticks, they're not very responsive, the triggers, the bumpers, they're just awful condition, man. These controllers suck. Like, you don't want to use these controllers. They work, but you don't want to use them because they suck, because they've been used for so long, right? So that just goes to show how long and how well I use the things that I buy. This Xbox controller, unfortunately, it did not get to live out its lifespan because after I bought it, I don't know how long after, but after I bought it, I took it to my friend's house to play games, Xbox. Well, actually, not Xbox, it was computer, but we plugged in our controllers to play for the games we were playing. I stay there, and it gets late, and I go home, and I'm tired. I put my Xbox controller on top of the car to set my stuff down in the car, and then get in the car. But then I forget. I forget that the Xbox controller is on top of the car. I drive away. While I'm driving away, it sounds like something falls off the car. I'm like, what's that? That's weird. I hope like my gas tank wasn't open or something. I can't figure out what it is. And then later the next morning, I'm like, wait, where's my Xbox controller? It's not on my desk. It's not in my car. It should be here. I had it last night, didn't I? I forgot to put it back in the car after I put it on top of the car. And that's what happened to this Xbox controller. I go back the next day. Coincidentally, I've got an eye appointment in the same city that my friend lives in, which actually I lived in, which is why I was there. I go out, I drive to her house, right? I'm driving. I'm like, I'm looking for the controller. I'm like, what's that? Was it what in the heck was? I look for the controller. I don't see it. I see a glint of red on the road because the controller's red. I'm like, oh my god. So I pull into this neighborhood, and I look for the controller. I see the red. All I could find was this. This was all that remains of the controller that fell on the ground. Fell off my car. And I was so sad. I scoured up and down the street. I said, maybe if I find like a chunk of its framework that works, the shell will be missing. I can play with like the skeleton of a controller. That was all I could find. So, all that story to say, resin is one of the goals up there. Because I was like, I want to preserve this. I want to give this thing the proper use. Because it was like $30 at least for this. It was a good controller. Now I've got this one, which is pretty cool. But not quite as cool as this one. I really liked this red one. And red's not usually a color I go for. It was red and black, and I liked it a lot. But yeah, I've got these pieces, and I wanted to cast it in resin. But like, doing... like, essentially casting that controller in resin would cost way more. I would buy too much product, I wouldn't use all of it, and it would require a lot of time and effort. So I was like, just, encasing it in resin, not really worth it. But I have a coworker who he casts stuff in resin. And I talked to him, and I was like, hey, is there like a limit on the size and the shapes you can do? He said, no, I can just make a mold. Easy peasy. And I was like, let's go. I was like, if I give you these pieces... can you cast them in resin, in a clear resin for me? He was like, as a paperweight? I'm like, yeah. So, I don't know how I'm going to orient it yet, because I've got looks like I've got 5 pieces. I've got the left trigger. I've got the left bumper. So these would have gone on there like, how would they have gone on there? Let me see. Left LB, LT. Wait, hold on, I'm stupid. Sorry, chat. Okay, so they'd be like upside down. Yeah, I know the trigger goes like this. Like that? Yeah, so these would have gone on the controller like that. Wow. And then this is just shell. I can tell this was part of the front. This was next to the joystick, which is what that little groove is there. And then these two were a part. This was a part of the. If I'm holding it, okay, yeah. So this was like a part of the kind of back, and then this was a part of like kind of the butt of it. But yeah, so I'm gonna give these pieces to him, and he's gonna cast them in resin, and then they're gonna be immortalized forever. And that Xbox controller, it's gonna get its use, because like this one I have now, it's gonna get its use, or it's gonna die a tragic death like a hamster. But yeah, and oh my gosh, I've been meaning to keep these things down, the length of these videos down, but I just start talking and then I don't stop talking, because like I feel like I have an obligation to go for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Yeah, I feel like 20 minutes is ideal, but like I'm almost at 50 minutes now, and like I feel a little bad because like the 2 people that watch this, I'm like, do they think these are too long? Do these get boring and unenjoyable? I don't know. But that is all for this week. Thank you for watching. I will see you all later. Bye.